Hey, good morning, students. It's Monday, June the 8th, doing a little devo on the road this morning. And, one of the things that hit me, a lot over this past weekend was how much I just really miss Summerfest. And I know you all miss Summerfest as well, but when I got to thinking, like, what is it I miss about it? And yes, I miss seeing everyone. I miss some of the goofy things that we do just to be able to hang out. I miss all those. But boy, one of the things I really miss is corporate worship. When we're able to be together and a throng of students making their way to crowd the stage and to sing, to laugh, to dance, and really, in those moments, you feel like your heart is just really soaring to meet the Lord. And I was struck by that. And the devotional for today in Paul Tripp's New Morning Mercies talks about the importance of corporate worship. And corporate worship doesn't mean professional worship. It just means a gathered worship time where you're coming together, the gathering of people at church or in a setting like church where you're all coming together for a common good, a common purpose. And I know that we haven't had a chance to have corporate worship for a while, and I'm looking forward to this coming weekend, seeing maybe some of you as PV reopens for church services in person this weekend. But I also want you to know that we have some things ready to go soon where students are going to be able to gather to worship. So I was thinking, why is it that corporate worship really does something to me, and I'm sure does something to you? And I'm reminded of several passages of scripture where it talks about not to forsake the gathering together. And the other thing that the corporate worship brings out is that when we are together and we're soaking in biblical truth, the expression of that in song is really, really powerful. It's moving to our spirit because we're speaking the same language as the God that we worship. Because the God that we worship is a spirit of truth. And we worship what he has already said to us, about himself in scriptures. And so many of the songs that we sing are really a reflection of what scripture has already said. So here's my encouragement for you today. Why don't you write down, what is it that you miss about corporate worship? Or maybe the first question is like, is that something that you miss? Because what will drive your desire to worship corporately is the depth that you're going in your own personal journey. You can't have moving corporate worship unless there is personal worship going on regularly. And so I would encourage you just to find some time to sink in the Psalms, like Psalm 121. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Like, who is going to come and help you? Who can you worship? And it is God. And so spend some time today in personal worship so that the grace that you receive in corporate worship becomes this fountain that you could never drink enough from, but yet at the same time is so incredibly satisfying. So I hope you have a great Monday, and look for some announcements this week on I can't wait to tell you, so I probably need to sign off here before I just let the whole thing out of the bag. But July 28th to 30th, you need to mark those on your calendar because we're going to have some fun then. And we're going to get together much like we would with Summerfest. So until then, we'll see you soon.